So welcome on in. I'm Anthony.
I'm Jenna.
And over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to be bringing you some fabulous pieces from the Effy Jewelry Collection, a company that's based in the heart of New York City's Diamond District, been around for over 40 years, started by one man. And the pieces that we're bringing you today are, what did you say they're going to be?
Playful and pretty.
Okay, so as we march ever onwards into 2021, let's take a look at our first piece then.
Okay, well, we have several pieces from our novelty collection.
Okay.
And this is one of my favorites that we have.
The evil eye.
I know, and I just think it has...
Or the Facebook viewership eye, whichever way you want to look at it.
I guess
There's one of them
now.
right up there, or there was before.
But what's really awesome about designs like this is that it has a little bit of personality, a little bit of story, and I think that it's just something that's different that you wouldn't necessarily find in a typical jewelry store.
Do you know, I've seen quite a lot of people wear these.
Oh, definitely. Very on trend.
Yeah, very much so. So if you are looking for something like this, something a little bit different, something that's a conversation starter, something that has a little bit of a story to it as well, then this would be a perfect place to go. Now remember, everything that we feature is fine jewelry. We don't really do fashion jewelry, costume jewelry, it's all fine jewelry.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're talking golds, in some cases silver, but we're always partnering with
this piece
gemstones,
has,
precious gemstones.
diamonds as well as sapphires in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's playful, it's fun, definitely from our novelty collection, but it has a real delicate presence. But the nice thing about Effy is every single piece that we have, regardless if it's a collector's piece or if it's an everyday piece, it comes with a lifetime guarantee.
That's always good to know. Like I said, the company's based in the heart of New York City, so if there are any issues customer service-wise, that's also based in the US as well. So that gives you the confidence that you can buy into us. If you've never come across Effy before, we'll tell you a little bit more of the story as we go through the hour. But if you love any piece during this hour, or you want to see more, all you have to do is go to effyjewelry.com, type in this web ID, which is the number that is associated to this particular item. When you go to the website, go to the search bar, type that number in, and that will bring out the page for this. It'll give you all the technical details. We tend not to talk about carat weights and things because we're more interested in, you know, what does the piece look like? You know, who's going to wear something like this?
How are you going to wear it? What are you going to wear it with?
So hopefully you'll stay with us, but jot that item number down and we should move on to our next piece.
I have another piece from the novelty collection.
Okay.
This one's super cute. And when I think of spring is like just around the corner, look how cute.
Just around the corner. Only a few more months of horrible cold before I can go to the beach again.
You and your beach. But look how amazing that is. Super
It's
trendy.
a little bee, isn't it?
It's a little bee. It's done in 14 karat yellow gold and it's encrusted with diamonds. But look how dimensional it is. And I think that's a big part about what sets designer jewelry apart from just jewelry, is when you're working with designer jewelry, you can find different shapes, different textures, different dimensions, a lot more detail is put into a designer piece. And our designers have over 40 years of experience under their belt, so they're able to achieve things that just a typical jewelry manufacturer can't.
So the company was started about 40 years ago, just over, by one man, Mr. Effy Hamatian. He came to the US from abroad and the US really embraced him and he's made a pledge really to keep all of his manufacturing right here in the United States. So the design offices are in New York, the factory is in the heart of New York. So everything is done right there and everything is very closely monitored by Mr. Effy and his two sons, Bobby and Benny, who run the company with him. So they're very hands-on, it's a family business and they take such pride in every single piece that they produce.
Yeah, it's really incredible, the attention to detail, and you can feel the passion and see the passion that's put into every single piece. It's not just a job. It's a love of what they do.
Exactly. So if you love this little bee that you can see here, it's beautifully decorated with those diamonds.
So cute.
Then all you have to do is jot down that web ID number and head to that website, effyjewelry.com. Onwards and upwards.
Okay, look at this novelty bracelet. Check
this is fun.
I know. I thought it was adorable.
I think being a pirate, that would be perfect for me.
You still insist you're a pirate. I don't think so. Living on cruise ships does not qualify you as a pirate.
I live on cruise ships and I drank rum. I mean, you can't argue with the facts. So let's move on. We're talking about an anchor, which is that done in sapphires?
Yes, it is. It's done in sapphires and it's on this really sweet little cord, so it's easy to put on and off. You can tighten it yourself.
So that's slightly more unusual. A lot of people tend to think, you know, if you're using sapphires, things like that, you're going to partner it with like a gold chain or something.
You think it has to be.
You don't have to.
No.
I mean, if you love the slightly more modern contemporary designs, by using a cord like this, it gives it a more kind of freeform casual look as well. So, you know, you could just be wearing, you know, a t-shirt, wear something like this, but you've still got that wonderful feeling of wearing fine jewelry with sapphires.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good example of, you know, our commitment at Effy, which is creating beautiful pieces of jewelry for everyone, depending on, what your budget is, what your style is, what your lifestyle is. We want to find something for every single person. And one of our specialties is not only attention to detail and design, but it's also colored gemstones. Working with sapphires, multicolor sapphires. You'll find on effyjewelry.com an extensive list of all the different collections that we do, but this is just a prime example of how we cater to everyone.
Well, if your heart belongs to the sea, as I know many of you first discovered Effie on cruise ships or in cruise ship destinations, then this would be a great piece to go for. Hopefully this is the year that we can all get back to enjoying some time on the ocean waves
Hopefully.
again.
I think good things are on the horizon.
That it is. Told you, pirate. Let's move on to our next piece. Don't forget to jot the item numbers down. If you do miss anything, obviously once the show has initially aired, you can always kind of go back and scrub through the timeline and find out those item numbers you may have missed.
Okay. Well, the next piece, I thought we could stick with the theme of color and check out that beautiful sapphire ring.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, this is one of our more classic designs. But what I think it really is a good example of is how our designers take a classic combination of sapphires, diamonds, and white gold and put a contemporary spin on it, because it's actually round, brilliant sapphires that are set in there, but you see that it's actually outlined with almost what looks like a square halo between all of the stones. And one of the biggest differences, I think, when you start looking at designer jewelry is that attention to detail. So you can see that even though this is, a classic band look, it still is pretty dimensional in the sense of look how thick it is, like how much gold is there. So it's still a big, substantial piece, even though it's pretty slim when you wear it on your hand.
Well, take a look at this close-up. You can see just how beautifully finished this ring is.
Yeah,
the way that all the stones have been placed, the contrast is what you really look at here between those bright white diamonds and then that rich inky blue color.
Yeah, inky blue, that's
sapphires.
a perfect way of describing these. These sapphires can kind of come in a full spectrum of color, but inky blue, like deep and intense, yes?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
And once again, it looks slightly more contemporary. We do have very traditional designs as well. If you go to effyjewelry.com, the website, you'll find literally thousands and thousands of pieces
Crazy
of jewelry.
amount of jewelry on there.
You'll find lots of pictures of all the different pieces. It'll give you a description as well, a breakdown, all the tech specs if you want. But I don't really think a lot of people buy from tech specs. They buy because they look at the piece and go, that's beautiful, I want to wear that.
I think once upon a time, like when there wasn't so much of a design element put into jewelry, when it was kind of
more
basic.
of an obsession about, this is
numbers,
half a carat.
yeah. Bought it off numbers and what the paper said. I think that really the industry has moved away from that just because we're able to achieve wearable works of art versus just a stone set and some gold.
Indeed we are,
Yes.
right. So if you love this particular ring, then there's the web ID for this. It's going to disappear now.
All right, so how about a delicate blue, a playful blue?
Why not? A playful blue.
Now, we are known as the masters of color, and I think this is a great example of what we can do with colored gemstones. Now, it's a classic solitaire style pendant, but it's done with a unique combination of aquamarine.
I was going to say, is that aquamarine?
Isn't that amazing?
It's a lovely colour. Well, you can see where it gets its name from. If you think about the clearest shallows in the perfect Caribbean island, this is the colour that we're talking about.
Yeah, and it has actually almost like the same kind of sparkle and glisten that those waves would have.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty?
Very pretty indeed.
And, when it comes to working with colored gemstones, it really is a art. It's not the same as working with diamonds. Diamonds, you have to figure out sparkle and light and angles. But when you work with colored gemstones, they all have a different characteristic or personality that you have to understand when you're creating a piece of jewelry to maximize its beauty. And with this, you can see that the aquamarine actually sits almost above that white gold and white diamond halo. And what it does is allows the light to get underneath the aquamarine and come through the top of the stone. And being that this is a step cut or an emerald cut aquamarine, you have that shards of light that stay in the stone. It captures the light and keeps it for itself.
That's the thing. I mean, if you encapsulated this in gold all the way around and sealed it, you wouldn't get half the appeal that you have with this because it would appear almost lifeless. There's a real skill in knowing how best to set different gemstones and how to get the most light and colour from them. And this is a perfect example. And for me, the white gold with this, it's so light and pure. And then you mix that with this super light, pale baby blue. Yeah. Oh, it's just a perfect combination.
Yeah, I think it has a very feminine, kind of subtle presence about it. Yeah, I think it's very soft. I like it. I think it's a very pretty piece of jewelry.
Okay, so if you're tempted by this, you want to find out all the details, then all you have to do is head to effyjewelry.com, jot down that web ID, and that will allow you to see the page for this particular piece. Okay. Onwards and upwards.
All right, well, we have another spectacular aquamarine. I'm actually wearing it on my hand. And if you think of, now look at the difference. So this is a teardrop or a pear-shaped aquamarine, but it has a brilliant cut. So it's designed to actually reflect light, whereas the pendant was designed to keep the light inside.
Right.
So you get a totally different look, even though it's the same gemstone.
So that was more shards of light. This is just sparkle of
Glitter.
light. Yes.
Yeah. Just like a whole flash of light from all kinds of different angles.
Now, what gold is that? Is that rose or is that yellow?
No, that I know.
Oh,
here come my glasses. Oh, they debut for the show.
Yeah.
See,
that's rose.
Yeah, it's rose and white, so it's two-tone.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
actually.
I know. I think because it's such a feminine look. So why not put it in rose?
Yeah,
I mean, that would be my logic.
I've never seen an aquamarine set in rose and white before.
Yeah.
That works really
but
well.
see, they kept it at the bottom. Look how the designers did it at the bottom. They still kept it light and airy. You have that design, right? Like that triangular kind of back and forth of the white gold. But really, that's just a cage that's designed to let light in to create more sparkle.
I'm just loving this close-up shot of the piece. I mean, just look at the light
and the
coming
details.
from that. Wow, that's fabulous.
Yeah, and
Love
then
it.
just to do it a little bit different, I mean, you have that pave diamond halo, you know, which gives more sparkle, more light, more beauty. But then in that rose gold, they're bezel set graduating diamonds.
Yeah. Do you know, I never tire of looking at stones like this.
Yeah.
It just you spend hours staring in and just seeing how the light plays within the stone. It's just it's delightful. It really is.
It's a very stunning piece and very different. I think that it has a very artistic quality to it. You can tell it's a designer piece of jewelry. It has all the things that Effie is.
Exactly. All right, so jot down the web ID, head to effyjewelry.com, and we move on to our next piece.
Oh, diamonds.
Jenna is a big fan of diamonds. If you've seen previous shows, you'll know she's a big fan
And
of diamonds.
hearts.
And heart and
Diamonds
pink.
and pink. Diamonds, hearts, and pink.
Yeah.
So there we go. Look at this one. I've got diamonds. I got 2 out of 3. I've got diamonds and a heart. But this is one of my favorite Effie collections. I already know you know this, but this is from the Effie Bouquet collection. And what's so brilliant about our diamond bouquet collection is it gives you a whole bunch of diamonds close together with almost like minimal seams between the stones that gives you one big solitaire look and flash, but more sparkle because there's more facets.
Exactly.
I love it. I'm so excited about that piece. And when we were going through it, I was like, oh, there's a diamond heart.
She's not lying. She
Yep,
was.
somebody loves me. They picked it out so we could talk about it.
There you go. But I mean, hearts, timeless. You know, people have always loved hearts. I think this is a great way of doing it and keeping that price at an affordable level as well. Because I mean, if you were to go with one stone, I certainly of this size, it would be incredibly expensive.
Yeah, our bouquet collection, our Effie bouquet collection, whether you go with, you know, the princess style, the rounds, or the hearts, or whatever shape you end up with, it is considered to be, I think, our smartest collection in terms of value for money. It's super popular, just because you get a really big look without having to spend tons and tons of money. And it has a very, like, solitaire presence. I mean, from me to you, it just looked like one big diamond.
On this close-up, you can really see that the engineering of this, the way that this has been put together, is very, very clever. So it does give you that bigger look and plenty of sparkle and all the extra facets that you're getting by having these individual stones.
Yeah, well, and it's funny you use the word engineering because by trade, before he started Effie Jewelry, Mr. Effie was actually an engineer, which I think is what gave him almost like a distinct design advantage because he looked at things from a more scientific, mathematical perspective of how to maximize beauty, not just what matches.
Exactly. All right, so we need to move on, but before we do that, quickly jot down that web ID number that you can see at the bottom of the screen and then head to effyjewelry.com. There are lots of different ways that you can search for other products on the website. You can search by collection. You can type in a particular word, so it could be diamonds, tanzanite, whatever it may be that you're looking for, and that will bring up all the corresponding pieces.
Exactly. So I thought, let's look at a pair of earrings that are super dimensional.
Okay.
Because look, so these right here, and this, again, this goes back to being the masters of colored gemstones in the jewelry world, but look at these earrings. Aren't they cool?
Very cool. We've got lots of blues. I'm a big fan of blues.
I know, I felt like this collection was picked for you until I saw the diamond heart, and I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a diamond heart.
But these are blue topaz earrings, but they're the stones are faceted 360 degrees. So over the entire thing, there's a facet that gives you maximum sparkle and doesn't lose any color.
Wow.
How incredible is that?
And I don't know if you can see on the shot that it's reflecting bits of light onto your cheek as well. Yeah.
Do I have like a glittering blue cheek?
You pretty much,
Like that prism?
It looks
nice,
great.
that's good.
No, it looks good. I love to see the light coming through there. I know we're going to be talking about the pendant as well shortly, but I think the two of them work together well. The fact that you've got this kind of triangle of blue topaz, that works well. So we'll
and they're actually quite comfy.
Shortly.
They're pretty light. I mean, considering they're huge stones, but they're really, I mean, I feel them. Like I can tell I'm wearing like a substantial pair of earrings, but I wouldn't say they're uncomfortably heavy.
Right. And I know you've got quite sensitive ears.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very true. But these are easy to wear. These were comfy to put on. They feel very secure the way that they link in the back, so they kind of lock right in there. And there's enough movement. I think that's why they're still so comfortable.
Yeah. And of course you got the diamonds on there as well on the actual.
Everything's better with diamonds.
Well, obviously. But it just works, once again, it works really well with the bright white of the diamonds contrasting against the blue of the blue topaz. So
I like them.
Very nice. All right, web ID on the screen for those earrings right now. Do you want to do the necklace next?
Might as well.
Might as well. So maybe think of this as a collection, maybe getting both of these together, because I think, although they're not matchy-matchy, they do work well together.
Look at how far you're coming. They're not matchy-matchy.
They match,
Everything's better with diamonds.
Yes.
Look at this.
Look
at that piece, though. Same concept, right? Nice, big, substantial stone.
I love this. Because the way the gold and the diamonds just wraps around like it's just...
It's like a tornado. Or like I got caught in a tornado. And
embracing the stone.
Yeah, and that's actually how they hold the stone in. Like that's part of the diamond detail is a part of securing that big blue topaz.
It looks great. Such a good color.
And it has that almost like a teardrop shape to it. So it has like a real feminine kind of curve, which is very flattering for any neckline.
Exactly. Works so well. But for me, I think it's the look of the three.
Yeah,
you know, the two earrings and the...
It looks complete.
It does. And that's the thing, we talk a lot about kind of, you know, you don't always have to have matching sets, but sometimes it's nice to have something that just works well together. And that really does. The echoing of the blue from the ears to the neckline, it just visually, it's just so appealing, I think.
It looks put together.
It really does.
Yeah. Now, one of the great things about shopping at effyjewelry.com is you're actually shopping directly with us. So you're going to actually, the way that you see the prices is there's already a discount on everything that you're shopping for.
Yes.
Because when it comes to shopping for jewelry in the jewelry world, everyone knows the best thing you can do, the smartest thing you can do to save money is buy as close to the source as possible. And at effyjewelry.com, you're literally buying directly from our New York warehouse.
We are the source.
Yeah, we are the source.
So there you go.
We design it, we make it, and you get to buy it straight from us. So great opportunity to save money. Do you want to do one of your favorite stones?
Tanzanite.
I'll let you pick.
Yeah, ring, closest.
Yes. Okay, check that out.
So this is obviously Tanzanite, one of the most popular stones out there, I think, at the moment because of this incredible color, the blues and the purples that just meld so beautifully together. And here we've got lots of different cuts of the Tanzanite, all set in this yellow gold. So you've got that central stone, which is emerald cut. And then you've got these smaller stones, which are then bezel set, which are they round cut?
Those are, they're round brilliants, which is interesting because these are two very uncommon cuts to find for Tanzanite.
Yeah, you see a lot of trillion. You see a lot of pear shapes, ovals.
Yeah, but you don't see a lot of emerald cuts and you don't see a lot of rounds. And especially with that intensity and that color. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you feel like our designers were showing off a little bit?
They kind of were, weren't they, a little bit? I mean,
is it just me?
It's like, almost like it's 5 separate rings.
It's kind of like, look what we can do. That's what when I see that ring, like it's very artistic, it's very different.
So some of the bands have actually got diamonds set within them. Some of them are this rope style design as well. So it's lots of different textures and plays of light that you get. And then of course the Tanzanite as the icing on the cake with this.
Well, and the way that the Tanzanite is set, it's going to give that look of kind of trickling down your finger, that real long feminine presence. So even though it's a band style ring, it's low profile, it's easy to wear, it'll still have a very glamorous look when you wear it.
Which is what a lot of people want to go for, I think.
Yeah, and it's substantial. That's a nice big piece of jewelry.
It really is. You can see on this close-up as well just how much that sparkles.
Yeah, it's the nice thing about Tanzanite. It doesn't make you choose. Do you want color? Do you want sparkle? Tanzanite just gives you both.
All right. So web ID's on the screen. Jot that down as it goes away. And how many pieces? We've got a couple of pieces left.
We've got this one and then one more.
Okay. So
this one's a beauty.
Another Tanzanite piece. This, straight away, the first thing that catches your eye is the color.
Yeah, that's an intense stone.
The intensity of that Tanzanite stone. Here on this close-up, you can really see what an incredible vibrancy that has.
Oh, for sure. And, with this particular piece, the stone is cut in a trillion shape, which is a very popular shape to cut Tanzanite in because it optimizes the color. You don't have, again, you're not having to compromise. You're getting the intense color. You're getting that deep purple, that deep bluish violet color, but you're still getting a lot of sparkle and personality out of the stone, which is why Tanzanite is so desirable.
Exactly.
Because you get everything you want.
So once again, Tanzanite, diamonds, gold, it kind of ticks 3 boxes there for you. Just an interesting design with this one as well.
Well, and this is actually a very diverse style of pendant because you can see how the chain's going through right here, but it's actually an exaggerated bail. So you could wear it on an omega chain or you could wear it as a drop down if you're still wearing sweaters over on like a rope chain. I mean, you have a lot of options of how you wear this pendant. And it's big enough that you could definitely carry it as like a lower hanging necklace.
Exactly.
Definitely could.
So if you love the look of this, if you love the idea of Tanzanite, maybe it's your first piece of Tanzanite. A great way to enter the wonderful world of Tanzanite with this. A lot of big fans of the stone. There's only one mine found at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro in East Africa. It was discovered back in the 60s, and ever since then it's been incredibly popular. But because there's only one mine, it's not a particularly commonly found stone.
No, not at all.
So.
It's definitely highly sought after, and a lot of people, you're lucky if you can get tanzanite of this depth and color today.
All right.
Okay.
Move on to our final piece then, and then we'll send you on your merry way to enjoy the rest of your day.
I consider Effy a definite lifestyle brand of jewelry. And, you know, I'm a mother of a small child, and she is, you know, a handful, but she's very cute, so it's okay. But when I look at jewelry, like, I need things that are practical and easy, and not necessarily, you know, this is my Monday jewelry, this is my Tuesday jewelry. Sometimes I just need something that's going to get me from Monday to Friday. And I think this piece of jewelry, this necklace, is a very diverse piece that could easily be worn all the time. And I think part of that is the fact that it incorporates all different colors of gold. You've got rose gold, yellow gold, white gold, and diamonds. Because, you know, diamonds are always important. Yep, here they come.
I want to look at this in close detail. Yeah, that's a lovely look, isn't it?
Isn't that neat?
It's so delicate as well. It's almost like a cage holding in this central piece of yellow gold. You've got the two outer bands of the rose gold, and then the center with the white, and then encrusted with diamonds as well. A mix of the highly polished surfaces and then the diamonds as well. I always think that works really well.
Yeah.
It's nice to see contrast because it creates lights and shadows, and it just gives you more visual interest.
Yeah, and it's a very dimensional piece of jewelry, like with your lights and your shadows. Like that is the artistic form of creating jewelry. I think it's just a very stunning piece. It would be flattering, easy to wear, and you could dress it up or dress it down. I mean, that's good for weekend activities, watching the kids play sports, or going out to dinner on a nice date.
I mean, you can just imagine simple little back dress, just finishing touch. Doesn't have to be too big, it just looks
Maybe
fabulous.
a pair of diamond studs with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So the web ID is there for you. Jot that down. That is it for this particular show. Thank you very much. If anything has caught your eye, then all you have to do is head to effyjewelry.com, and you can see all of the pieces that we featured and much, much more.
Oh yes, so much jewelry on the website.
All right, so we will be back again real soon. More shows on the way, some great pieces still to come actually. So stay with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.